Hey guys, so we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about your June forecast. So we're going to be seeing what's going on in the month of June for you guys, everything you have to look forward to, everything you should be aware of or look out for, all the good, all the bad. We're going to get into it. And if for some reason you're watching this in the future, you can totally use it as a timeless guidance reading for the next month ahead. So rest assured, whenever you're seeing this reading is when you were meant to see it. But today we have a beautiful selection of cards for you guys to choose from, and I did block out the words on the cards because I wanted you guys to really use your inner guidance, your intuition to guide you to the right pile, not necessarily being biased by the words. So just pick like you would any other pick a card reading. Let your intuition guide you and magnetize you to the right pile for you. Sometimes people like to close their eyes and see what color or number pops into their mind, but there's no wrong way to decide. Just trust your intuition to guide you to the right pile, and that will be the message with the reading for you. And then as soon as you make up your mind, you can scroll down to the timestamps in the comments in the description and jump right into your pile. So I'm going to show you guys the numbers on each of the piles. This is pile number 1. Then we have pile 2, and finally pile 3. I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon up with a ton of additional readings. I just posted one all about an exciting day in your future. So we time travel to your future and kind of look around, poke around there, see what you have going on in your romantic life, in your career, everything. All the details we can figure out about your future, we get into it on that reading. But as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, you get access to all my readings. So about 50 additional readings about life, love, spirituality, career, relocation, future life, past life, spirituality, spirit guide, so many different topics over there. So if you want to join us, I would love to have you over on Patreon. And the link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description. I hope to see you guys there. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, channel, read your astrology. There's so many different options. So I would love to do a reading for you. And if you want that, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching me. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. For we are going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked the Bone Collector card, this is going to be your reading. So for your tarot, you guys got the Page of Pentacles, the Emperor, 8 of Wands, Temperance, 6 of Cups, and the Star card. So it appears that this is going to be a busy month for you guys. A lot of you guys are going to be focused on your career. You might be focused on money a lot. This month, you might be focused on working hard and maybe doing something with your money situation, something new. I'm almost feeling for some of you guys, it's like paying off a bill or paying off bills, or possibly starting some kind of a new business. But it feels like money or career is a theme for you guys this month, where you're really taking a look at things, and you might be pretty busy with that. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like you guys are maybe a little bit rushing around, maybe a little stressed, to be honest with you, but I also feel like you're invigorated by it. You kind of enjoy it. You have the energy for it. It's not just like you're hating your life and you're really having to go into work and you're super bored or disinterested. It feels like you do have the energy to make these things happen, and you're willing to bring your focus and your attention to your money situation this month. So for you, it's a stressful month, but I also feel like you're kind of doing well under the pressure, and it feels like you're really pushing yourself in that direction. I do feel like a lot of you guys are going to be kind of maybe doing something to pamper yourself this month. So maybe doing like a spa treatment, getting a massage, getting a facial, working on your makeup routine, or even your physical health. But I feel like a lot of you guys are going to kind of be prioritizing yourself, where maybe you've neglected yourself for a while, or that might even be like with the paying off of bills energy. There's almost this energy where you're like fixing things that need to be fixed, or things that have been neglected for a while. With that Bone Collector card, that really talks about actually a lot of healing work. And sometimes I think when people like neglect themselves, it's a sign that maybe they have some, I don't know, trauma they haven't processed, or difficult things they don't want to deal with. And I almost feel like this month you have the bravery to take on whatever these issues are. So if you're like, you've been dreading signing up for this really technical thing that's going to take like a few hours to sign up with all the forms. You're going to be like, you know what, I have time this Saturday, let's do it. And you're going to have that bravery or that impetus to actually get it done. Or if you're like, I've really been wanting to write a short story, but I can't ever focus. Maybe you have the focus this month to get it done, or you're going to go through your finances and take care of some things. But I do feel like when this gets done, it's like a load off your mind and you guys feel so much more relaxed heading into the rest of the month. And then you can focus on the things you kind of enjoy. Some of you guys are going to be cooking a lot this month. So you might be in the kitchen whipping up new recipes and really, I feel like that's almost like something some of you guys really enjoy, or it's a way for you to decompress. Um, or maybe just like a way for you to tap into your ancestors and their heritage. If you have grandmothers who taught you recipes, or you just, a certain recipe reminds you of your mom or something like that, that might be, but it feels like this is like almost self-care. Like, I do feel like you're so busy for some part of the month, and then it's almost like you switch into like homebody mode for a little bit. So maybe you've been rushing around and maybe you're like, well, I hate cooking, and you'll just order in a bunch of takeout, but it feels like one of those lazy Sundays where I'm just staying inside, I'm not really leaving, and I'm just, I don't know, watching TV or watching my favorite movie and eating popcorn or whatever. But I do feel like some of you guys are really going to be into cooking towards the latter half of this month, and you're going to really enjoy cooking some really healthful, nourishing recipes and some of your kind of favorite recipes. Honestly, it feels like a lot of you guys are working on a long-term project, and I do feel like you're getting a lot more disciplined, pile one. I feel like you guys have been more disciplined lately, and I feel like you're really applying it this month, where you're kind of taking a hard look at things that need to be fixed or changed in your life, things that need to be adjusted, and you're willing to get it done, even if it's going to take a little bit longer for it to be fully finished. You're like, you know what, this is the time. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to get started. Let's go. You might even be doing some home repairs or some car repairs or something like that maybe you've been putting off for a while, because it's not exactly the most fun thing to go drop your car off at the mechanic and have to like sit in that waiting room and thumb through the magazines or whatever. You know what I mean? Those chores that aren't necessarily like a blast to do, or deep cleaning the kitchen or what have you. I feel like you guys are really taking that head on this month and leaning into doing those kinds of things. So let's go into this deck and see what pile one has going on in the month of June. I just want to get a few cards. So we got anxiety. And I'm hearing that some of this anxiety is rooted from this financial situation or this work situation. Like there's something that you guys kind of need to address, or that's something that you've been putting off. Like it's giving procrastination energy, It's giving like, I don't want to deal with this. I just would rather leave it for something else. And so I feel like once you finally start addressing it, it just becomes so much easier and the anxiety starts to dissipate. And then, yeah, everything just starts smoothing out. I'm not saying the anxiety is going to go away entirely, but I do think even when we're having anxiety, they say like something to do when you're feeling anxious is to make your bed, or if you're procrastinating something big, do something small. And you'll find that it gives you a little boost of self-esteem, like, oh, I made my bed, I'm this responsible person. And then you feel capable to go clean your kitchen if you've been letting the dishes pile up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like there's something that you're really taking care of this month that I feel like your guides are going to be so proud of you that you did. And that, again, it's going to feel like a load off your mind. It's going to feel like, oh, okay, I did it. And like I said, with the bone collector, it might be from, sometimes we procrastinate because of like traumas or childhood trauma or just bad coping skills, right? And we all have different bad coping, maladaptive coping stuff. But it's like, I feel like you're getting a handle on it this month and really doing a good job. And honestly, it feels to me like it's going to lead to this path of success, because never forget, the star card shows the star in the distance. But I feel like there's kind of this energy of self-care. Like if some of you guys have been suffering really bad from anxiety, I know one of the symptoms of like anxiety or more like depression, but could be something like, you know, not showering or neglecting, like not cleaning your room and whatever. And so maybe you've been dealing with something like that, and you're in an energy now where you're like, I am going to make sure I wake up first thing and I hop in the shower and then I cook myself something healthy and I go for a little walk, and you're kind of taking care of yourself more, only for those of you guys who might have been struggling with something like that. But I feel like you're really realizing your own personal power this month with that and how much you have control over it. Let's get into some more cards for pile 1. Goddess of the Moon. What's happening for pile 1 this month? Blossoming abundance. Wow. I love that. And the thing about it is I totally sense that vibe, because to me, like I said, I feel like it's like we have the star in the distance. It's like we have to get through this period to get to the better period. And honestly, I feel like some of you guys are going to be really big successes, and you might start getting a glimpse of your success this month is what I'm hearing, pile 1. So you might have something small that comes down the pipeline with whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Maybe you're like, I really want to manifest a house, but I don't have my funds together yet, and randomly you have this idea of a dream house, and you're watching I don't know, a news program, and they're using stock photos of houses, and they randomly use your dream house that you like bookmarked on Zillow or something like that. And you're like, what? Did I just hallucinate? Was that the house that I've been like thinking of all the time? And there might be like a little symbol for you like that, or some glimpse, or your boss comes in and just wants to give you a big compliment on your last project, and that's going to lead to the promotion. So it feels like it's not fully coming down the pipeline this month, but it's going to be coming down the pipeline later, and you're going to get a vision of what it is this month. I feel like you guys are really making amazing forward strides in your career. I just want to give you the credit. And that might be why this is a very busy energy around you, because it feels like you guys are working. Like it feels like you are working hard. And I just heard no rest for the wicked or something like that, which I think is like a joke. I'm not saying you guys are wicked at all, but I think that you guys are busy. Like there's not a lot of rest happening. It's just like nose to the grindstone, working hard, pushing forward, moving things ahead energy around you. Yeah. And then I feel like later on in the month it starts clearing, and then you have a little bit more time for yourself to rest and relax. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting you guys have a lot of energy for your work right now. Like to me, it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to go into work. Oh my God, so annoying. This month is just, it feels like, oh, I want to work. I can't wait to get this done. I'm pushing forward. I can't wait. That kind of energy. 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So that's the throat chakra. So there's an element of communication and contract. So like I was saying, there might be some energy of you guys like paying off a bill, or signing a contract that's boring, or looking through a bunch of files, like stuff that I feel like you didn't really want to do. But again, I feel like you're kind of, kind of girl bossing a little bit. Like you're kind of willing to do the hard stuff. And I feel like that's what's going to lead you to the abundance. And maybe in the past you were the type to kind of shirk those responsibilities, or kind of run away from something like that. Like maybe you were like, I don't really want to do the hard part. I don't really want to organize my emails. I don't really want to blah, blah, blah. And now you're willing to do that. And you have a lot more energy for it. But I just feel like it's very positive to me, this energy around you. Like I feel like it's almost like feeling invigorated a little bit, feeling like you just have endless energy when it comes to this area of your life. So yeah, I don't know what this is, but it feels really good. I want to get into this deck. So let me get into this. What energy do we have for pile 1 for the month of June? What is happening in their life? What is going to be happening in pile 1's life? Every step counts. Okay. And really, that's a good card for this energy, though, because it's almost like I said, you might not be there yet this month, but you're really making strides. I feel like pile 1, it's like you're on fire. You are pushing yourself really hard, and it is going to pay off. Maybe not this month, but maybe July or August, or like 2 or 3 months from now, whenever you're watching this, it feels like you're on this path. It's almost like a dog on the hunt. You know what I mean? Like when a dog gets a scent and they're just like, you can't hold them back, like a bloodhound, and they get a scent of something and they're just like ready to go. Like my mom has a terrier, and I think they used to hunt rodents or something back in the day. Um, she has a Yorkshire Terrier, a Yorkie, but I didn't know like that they had this hunt urge. So if she gets like the smell of something, she'll start like going crazy and kind of like trying to track it down. And I feel like that's you guys. Like there's something that you're going after, and it's like you almost ran out of patience. I feel like you're ready to push forward on this. And I feel like this month you're doing a lot of that kind of work. And so it's kind of a very heavy career energy this month for you. It's kind of a very heavy money energy around you, and goals type energy is what I'm picking up on. Let's get into some more cards. Emotional baggage. And that's interesting because we got the bone collector card. So another energy and theme that seems to be coming for you this month is clearing out of old emotional stuff, because those cards have very similar meanings when it comes to letting go of the past, when it comes to doing shadow work and healing of traumas, and realizing really what the bone collector, what she means to me at least, is kind of that we can let go of these traumas at any point. It's kind of like we're lugging around, or you could see the baggage, the literal bag in this card. We're lugging around this stuff, but we can let it go. Like if you've ever had the experience where you're traveling and you just have way too much stuff, and maybe you're in a hotel room and you've got a bunch of books that you already finished reading some of them, and you have some clothes, but they're not really seasonal, or like, if you're traveling for a while, you might have experienced this, and then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to leave these books. I'm sorry. I just can't take any more of this with me. It's too heavy. And then you realize you can leave it behind at any point. And that's the vibe with you guys is you might be doing a lot of shadow work and processing of negative energies, negative vibrations this month. And you might be doing a lot of purging. I think this Pluto shift, Pluto's been doing a lot of activity lately. And I do feel like that is bringing up, because Pluto is kind of trauma, and it is literally trash and waste disposal. So we're getting rid, I think we've had a lot of that stagnant energy because it was in Capricorn for so long. I mean, it was in Capricorn for like 20 years. And now it finally is budging into Aquarius, and then it's retrograding back, and then it's going to go back to Aquarius. But either way, we're finally seeing movements between the signs with Pluto. So a lot of people are finding that suddenly traumas that they thought were buried, or that they were like, no, that's fine, are kind of being unearthed. And I think it's actually a really positive time for the collective, even if it doesn't feel like it. But I feel like you guys are really doing that work this month. You're really letting go of a lot. You're really pushing yourself forward. And it's like, I feel like I just want to give you guys like almost a pat on the back and be like, wow, pile one, you guys have moved forward so much. You're doing so much for yourself. You're kind of, I feel like, reinventing yourself, or finding different aspects of your personality where maybe in the past you were like, oh, well, I'm always that, I'm always late, I just always am. And then you find out that it has to do with some kind of a trauma you had, or maybe you wanted attention from your parents and you could only get it through negative attention. So now you act out to do things to get negative attention, like those kinds of things are being unearthed with you guys right now. And I feel like you're working through a lot of them, making a lot of changes. So yeah, let's get another card for pile one. Tell it like it is. Let me make sure this card's not risque. Okay, I think it's okay. Okay, tell it like it is. So that's interesting, because we also had the throat chakra activated over here. So tell it like it is. So there is an aspect or an energy about you speaking up, possibly speaking out, or making posts, I don't know, on social media or something, or really using your voice a lot more. It feels like you guys are a lot less afraid. You're a lot more bold. So yeah, maybe you're like willing to start a social media account, whereas in the past you weren't. Or maybe you guys are just speaking up more to like your bosses, the people around you. But either way, it feels like you're not holding yourself back anymore this month. And there is this energy around you of, like I said, it's almost like fed up, or just oh, I'm ready for this shift in my life and I'm not tolerating this anymore. And look, the birds just started chirping. So they're using their throat chakras. And I feel like you guys are going to be, yeah, I guess going to be speaking out more, but you might do writing as a hobby. This month, that would be really good for that. You guys might be having planets transit through your third house. And you guys might be, yes, writing, any kind of writing, whether it's like poetry, songwriting, fiction, journaling, or nonfiction, anything. Any kind of writing would be represented with that. And also speaking out, speaking up on social media. So, like making YouTube videos or TikToks or long form Instagram captions, all those things could definitely be themes this month. Let's see what else is going to be happening for pile number 1. Multiple streams. Wow. And with the Page of Pentacles, that makes sense because Page of Pentacles always has a lot of energy for money. So you might be like, I decided I want to start a new business, or I decided I want more money and I'm going to try to manifest a new avenue and a new insight into a new way to make money. So you might be getting interested in a new source of revenue and maybe learning about stocks or cryptocurrency, or maybe you are going to start a business or open like a rental property or something. But yeah, there's a heavy like hustler energy around this month, ambitious energy around this month that is coming through really strong for you guys. So I'm going to do the Astro Dice next. So we're going to see what's happening with the Astro Dice for pile number 1. Okay, so we got Cancer, 7th house, aka Libra, and then Jupiter. So Sagittarius. So we have Sagittarius, Libra, and Cancer coming through. So like I said with Cancer, Cancer loves to cook. I was mentioning that at the beginning. I could see you guys cooking at a certain point or putting more emphasis onto the home at some point. Like it almost feels like you're working so hard that you kind of need a little oasis crash pad to just kind of de-stress. So I feel like you're going to be vacillating between that hard work energy and then maybe you're working from home, or maybe you are, yeah, I could definitely see that. Or maybe you're working really hard for some of the month and then you go on vacation towards the end, or you're working hard during the week and then on the weekends you just crash and you kind of stay in your bedroom and you're just kind of like, and you're in the kitchen cooking a little bit, but it's kind of like, I feel like you need a place to rest and rejuvenate because you're working so hard with the other energies. And did I say that was Sag, or did it flip? Because that's Saturn. I don't know. Maybe I hallucinated it into being Jupiter when it's actually Saturn, which is kind of the opposite of Jupiter. Anyway, it's just one of those days. Okay, so that's actually Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. So we'll read for those energies, but that makes perfect sense because actually Capricorn is that really hardworking energy and these two oppose each other on the astrological axis. So there's that definite vibe of like that axis being activated, the work, 10th house career energy being activated, Saturnian, Capricornian, hard worker, going after it, getting after a goal, mountain goat energy, and then the Cancer, the crab, the home, 4th house, family, cooking, looking after people, mothering people. I'm not saying you have to mother anyone, but that's just like mothery stuff, cooking, like being at home, nurturing, and you might be just doing that for yourself. So again, I feel like that axis, that vibe is very strong for you guys. And then with the 7th house, that's the house of relationships. It's ruled by Libra and Venus. So that's also another thing that has to do with is, again, legal issues, the law. So yeah, there is an energy with you guys of like justice and again, taking care of all those legal issues that might pop up for you guys. And also 7th house is very diplomatic and very good with their words, very charming in how they speak usually. So for some of you guys, there's a heavy emphasis on speaking, telling it like it is, but maybe learning to do it in a really nice diplomatic way. Maybe learning that like you don't have to come in like a bull in a china shop and say exactly how you feel, but maybe you can voice things in a way that you know, isn't going to be that bad, because maybe that's what's giving you anxiety, is kind of like, well, I want to say all this, but everyone's going to be mad at me. And maybe you're finding that there's ways for you to communicate, or ways for you to get what you want or do what you need to do in this world without actually stepping on anyone else's toes. So yeah, let's get some message cards for pile 1 for the month of June. Let's get a message card for pile 1 for the month of June. Out of the woods, you've made it through. What newness is emerging? Wow. I love that. And honestly, there is that vibe. Like, I feel like, again, in the past, it feels like you guys might have had an absence of energy, or been feeling really down, been feeling kind of lethargic. And it does feel like this month you have a lot of energy. You guys are ready to go. You are laser focused on a goal. If you've been feeling kind of complacent and kind of stuck and kind of just like, oh, whatever, it feels like now this month, all the chill is gone and you guys are just ready to like launch out of a rocket launcher. I love when I just slam a bunch of words together. But anyway, you guys are ready to go full force. You guys are ready to put the pedal to the metal and like go light speed. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I'm seeing how in video games when you press the NOS and then you go super fast. Like, I feel like that's your vibe this month. And we got the you are the joy seeker. What little victories do you celebrate? So I think in a way, because you're so busy at work, or you're so focused on work, it makes you give more attention to also the little small joys, or to the other ways that you can make your life happy, and to taking more pleasure in the day to day. And we also got oneness is the way. How can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? And I also feel like what's coming up for me when I see oneness is the way is like the yin yang. So the metaphysical idea that all things in life need balance. So I really feel like you're kind of learning that balance. You're working hard, you're playing hard this month. There's a lot happening in your financial career life, but there's also a lot of joy and kind of peacefulness on your days off, or on your weekends, or maybe just after you get off work. So it's almost like I'm working myself super hard, but now I'm finally figuring out that little balance of like some self-care afterwards, so that I'm not getting into a burnout situation. But yeah, I think that is what I have for you guys. Pile 1, I really hope it resonated. I always love hearing your thoughts, so please let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always curious. And make sure to give this reading a like, hit the thumbs up button if it did resonate with you. Also make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on, hit the bell, so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, then head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about an exciting day in your future. So we time travel to an important day in your future and see what you have going on, kind of poke around in there and see what's happening with your life. But as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, you get access to all my readings. So about 50 additional readings about life, love, spirituality, career, relocation, so many different topics. And new ones go up all the time. You guys suggest, and then we vote on the new ones. So it's very interactive. If you would like to join us, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description to join me over on Patreon. And if you guys would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get one at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me. Have me pull tarot, read your astrology, channel for you. You can have me do a financial reading, a love reading, a year ahead reading, career reading. There's lots of options for what you want to focus on. So if you want to get one of those, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link is in my description for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon for another reading. So I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this coming apart card, this is going to be your reading. So for your tarot, you guys got the 4 of Cups, 5 of Swords, Ace of Cups, 2 of Swords, the Death card reversed, and the Wheel of Fortune card reversed. So with the 5 of Swords, you guys might have someone this month who seems like they're coming against you. It may be someone who's shady or dishonest with you, or just someone you get a really negative vibe from, like you feel like they just don't like you. And this could be a warning for you to keep your distance to them, to kind of stay away and not get too close to them or not trust them. If your intuition is pinging with them and you just feel like they're doing a little weird stuff, then definitely trust that, because it can talk about someone who doesn't have good intentions or is just generally really dishonest and might enjoy conflict for the sake of it. It might also just be someone who's kind of verbally argumentative for no reason or seems to like to fight in that way. And it might talk about a situation where you could get into like a losing argument or a kind of verbal battle that isn't going to fare so well for you guys. But there's a lot of good news with the Four of Cups and then the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is kind of represented in the Four of Cups, and it can talk about a beautiful blessing that really comes out of nowhere, not something you're going to be expecting, something that might be a really positive surprise and have to do with your kind of watery side of life. So your creativity, your intuition, a beautiful new relationship, a new friendship, or a new creative project that you weren't necessarily expecting. So your intuition and your creativity might be really on point this month, and you guys should be paying attention to all the little visions, dreams, and insights that you guys seem to get. I feel like your intuition is going to be super on point. I'm hearing you guys are going to be very psychic this month. So some of you guys should be keeping a journal to write down and note your intuitions or even your dreams, because I feel like you guys are going to be having really vivid dreams in this upcoming month. And I do feel like your guides are around you very strongly, talking to you and communicating with you. And I feel like you guys sometimes this month, you might even feel like you're spacing out a lot, or you're kind of in dreamland, or your head in the clouds, but actually I feel like you're getting a lot of downloads this month. Some of you guys are doing some really intense shadow work. I've been noticing this in the collective as Pluto finally shifts signs after 20 years. Pluto is trauma. It deals with trauma. It's also waste disposal, like plumbing, and literally like removing the trash. So that's kind of what Pluto serves in our chart, is kind of highlighting traumatic areas that we need to grow through and shift and change and work through. And so as it finally moves from Capricorn after 20 years and shifts into Aquarius, and then it retrogrades back and then it goes back, there's sudden movements in this area in our life that's kind of unearthing. It's kind of like going into an attic and shaking out all the old dust, you know what I mean, off a like blanket, and like just being amazed at how much dust was on it. That's kind of what's happening right now for the collective. But I definitely feel like you guys have been getting insights almost into things that have needed to change or shift, and that energy is going to continue into June for you guys. I feel like you guys are in a quieter energy, and Spirit is saying for you guys to be really sure to take some time out to meditate and almost like to sit with yourself, to paint or write or do kind of hobbies that are quieter in nature, so you can um, hear Spirit's voice. And because it's not even enough to just be like doing something like you're having a quiet afternoon, but you're scrolling and you're watching a bunch of movies and you're super distracted the whole time, because then Spirit can't talk to you. But if you can find a hobby where you have a little bit of a moment of quiet and there's some peace and there's some relaxation, whatever that is, whether it's cooking, whether it's even cleaning for some people, or embroidery, or even taking a walk outside, or painting or writing, anything that gives you a moment of peace and quiet is going to be really vital for you guys this month, because I feel like you should make the most of this energy, because you are so creatively receptive, and you might be getting a really amazing download about a new creative project or something that could be really cool and lucrative, and just is one of those, because like I said, it's really funny how Pisces is always the wealthiest sign, and I think Susan Miller speculates that's because Pisces use their intuition to get psychic downloads about creative work they should do. So Pisces tend to like be like, I'm going to start this random business, and then it ends up being really lucrative. So use this intuition, use this period you're in right now to get guidance about a creative or spiritual project, because it might be very lucrative for you guys down the line, or it might just be something that really serves you in some way and is important for you to follow through on. But there's a beautiful new energy coming in. It could be a new relationship for some of you guys. And Spirit also wants to let you know not to be afraid of endings this month. With the Death card reverse, there might be something that's ending in your life in the month of June that you're kind of sad to see go. It could be that you're hitting like a major milestone, like a graduation, or you're leaving a old job, or you are I don't know, something just ending, some kind of a season in your life that's coming to an end. And Spirit really wants you to lean into this energy and not be afraid of it, and to be excited for it and to be bold with it, because honestly, anything that needs to end is that's going to be a blessing, even if it doesn't feel like it. And the Death card tends to be a quieter ending, and it's not as dramatic and like catastrophic, I guess. I don't want to put negativity onto the Tower card. They're both necessary, but I mean, it's just a lot easier with the Death card. So yeah, this ending feels like it's something that needs to happen. So don't be afraid of whatever is going to be ending this month for you. Welcome that energy in and accept it. I also feel like some of you guys are going to be making a big decision that could relate to this Death card. So it could be like you graduate from college and now you need to find a job, or you end one job and now you need to find another, or you're deciding on a move and you're kind of very torn between these two choices and you're weighing them, going back and forth. And I feel like the message from Spirit is for you to really use your intuition with this, really for you to listen. And this is maybe where Spirit is calling upon you to meditate, to dream, because they just told me I've been talking to them in dreams. So they have been coming through your dreams very loudly lately. I don't know if you guys have been having very vivid dreams, but either way, you should be using your dreams as you head into June for sure. Maybe keeping a dream journal by your bed. But I feel like there's a lot of guidance and wisdom that's been given to you in your dream state lately, and that's going to help you to make this decision, because it does feel like this is a very formative decision that could really have a huge impact on you guys. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming out reversed, I actually think that can be a very positive sign. When it's reversed, it can show that this isn't it's kind of like, I always compare it to the seasons, you know? So it would be the winter energy. It would say that maybe this isn't like the woohoo, fun, super exciting time of life. This is like more of the growth period, but I love that because that means it's going to get better the next day. And I always tell this story because it always reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. But when I was a little girl, whenever I would come home from school and my mom was like, "How was your day?" I would always be like so excited when it was a bad day, because I think I don't know, maybe as a little kid you know these spiritual truths, but I always just knew that if it was a bad day, then the next day was going to be better. So if I had 2 bad days in a row, I'd be like super pumped. 3 days in a row, I would be like absolutely thrilled, convinced that like next week I was going to just have the best week of my life, have so much fun. So I would literally get excited when it was a bad day because I knew it was going to get better. And I think that's kind of the vibe of the Wheel of Fortune reversed, is sometimes when things feel like they're not going your way, it's actually a positive momentum. You know, they've done studies and they found that you actually get more satisfaction and like pleasure utility from when they like break this down and measure and study it. You get more of the like happy endorphins and the positive vibes and positive feelings from looking forward to your vacation than actually being on vacation. Like just the act of being like, okay, so I'm gonna wear that bikini and we'll go get drinks at that bar. I know for me, like I love looking up restaurants beforehand. That to me is like more fun than actually being at the restaurant. I love looking at the menu. I love planning my outfit, you know, the whole 9 yards. That's why I hate when people hit me up for like a last minute going out. I'm like, please give me the pleasure of like at least a few hours beforehand, if not days, so I can like get all excited for it. But anyway, this is kind of the energy where like it hasn't happened yet, but you know it's going to be good later. So maybe this month you're more getting the downloads and the dreams, and it's not that active, it's not that busy for you. Maybe you don't have something going on in your life right now that you're super, super excited about. But it's like, I almost feel like this is an amazing manifesting month for you guys as well. Like you're putting things into the ether, you're putting things into spirit, into the world, into the mist that is going to come back to you. So you're planning things out, you're getting your ducks in a row of what you want, figuring out what you want, what you don't want, and all of that jazz. So yeah, honestly, I feel like this month is like a super chill month for you guys, which is kind of awesome. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest with you, because I've been busy lately. But anyway, Okay, let's get into the cards for this deck for pile number 2. What's going to be happening for them in the month of June? So we got strategy, all tied up, and then we got community. So you guys might be spending a lot of time with your friends and family. We do have that Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups can definitely talk about a new relationship coming in. So it could be a new friend group that you're joining, or new friends that are suddenly around you, even like new coworkers, but it might be someone you really get along with. The Ace of Cups is a really positive card, and it would talk about a positive relationship that you really enjoy, not necessarily someone who's going to be rude and nasty. Definitely not that type of energy. So you might be meeting new coworkers, but you really get along with them and you guys decide to go out for drinks afterwards as a group. Or it might be that you're meeting new friends or someone coming into your family or something like that. Like maybe your brother introduces you to his new girlfriend, but you really like her. Or you might be meeting a romantic partner. There's lots of possibilities with that Ace of Cups. But with the community card, it could definitely be a new friend group, new friends. And I feel like this is a really ideal month for you guys socializing, because to be honest, it doesn't feel like you're super burdened with like financial or work issues. It doesn't feel like you have like a level 10 stress is not the energy I'm getting going into June. It feels like there's an emphasis from spirit on you guys, you know, getting to spend time to stop and think about what you love and to kind of look after yourself and to kind of chill a little bit more this month and be a little bit more meditative this month. And with all tied up, you might even be telling people that. You might be like, "Oh, I'm so busy. Yeah, sorry, I can't hang out." And then you're going home and chilling on the couch, or, you know, just like going taking a nap or something like that. I feel like you guys are very in your own energy this month and you're so creative this month. Like, I feel like it's almost giving me like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. You know how she's like always head in a book and everyone likes her, but she's very like just doing her own thing, very creative, very like imaginative. Yeah, and so I feel like this month is almost like a planning month for you guys, thinking about your future, thinking about what you want, thinking about the things you want to manifest and bring in. And we got the strategy card, which can definitely talk about that. So planning, making it, maybe it's not the time to launch it right now. Maybe this is not the month of major activity, but this is the month of thinking through what you want, getting those things in order, and really starting to have the vision for how it's going to go down. Do we want any more cards? Indecision. Okay, and that's coming out right over the Two of Swords. So there's a heavy decision y'all are going to be making in this month of June. You guys are going to be torn between two options, and maybe this is where this strategizing energy is coming in. And I'm feeling like it's like you guys spend a lot of time thinking. And again, there's this message that you guys, I can feel some anxiety now coming in, and the coming apart card is starting to make sense. So maybe there is a decision you have been kind of struggling over, or you're going to be struggling over in June. And if there is, again, I feel like the message from Spirit is to trust Spirit and to make the decision that Spirit has put in your heart, no matter how outlandish it may seem, or how crazy, or how like, what? Why would I do that? Definitely trust this process, because I feel like you're going to be getting these dreams and visions and downloads. The Ace of Cups is literally like that sudden knowing, that sudden spark of intuition, because cups are intuition, psychic knowledge. So when you have the Ace of Cups coming in, it's suddenly just knowing. And someone's like, "How do you know that?" And you don't have any information. It's not like the Ace of Swords where you're like, "Well, I just know this." And maybe you have some data that you could point to, or it just makes sense and you're using your mental mind. It's all intuitive. It's all that part of you that's deep in your soul. So it might not make sense to others. It might not make sense to you when you try to rationally think it over. It might not add up when you start doing the math on it and you're like, "What? Why would I do this?" But it actually makes perfect sense when it comes to the end. You know, yeah, I feel like for you guys, I'm thinking of this time when I had this event coming up and I was so nervous about it, and I kept getting so nervous. And even though I'm a psychic, you know, we still sometimes don't trust our own intuition. All of us do this. So I was literally rushing. It was to the airport. And so I'm like, "Why am I freaking out about this?" And I literally had the strongest urge to go to the airport. And I was like, girl, you are not going to the airport 6 hours early. Like, why would you do that? You'd be a crazy person. They probably wouldn't even let you board. You'd have to sit in the main area for like 6 hours looking like a weirdo. And so I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm going to make the most of my time in this city. I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to relax. And so I did. But literally the whole time I was like going out to eat and doing other stuff. And I literally kept feeling like I was going to vomit, which is kind of sometimes how I react to, I don't know, negative stimuluses. Is I get this urge to vomit, which is, I know, gross, but anyway. But I was like, okay, you need to calm down. Like, why are you stressing so much? It's just a regular flight. And sure enough, when I was going to the airport, there was a series of mishaps, and I ended up getting there too late and missed the flight. And I ended up having to pay a huge amount of money to get rebooked on the next flight. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it was a very costly expense. I mean, I think I had to pay like $700 or something, so that's pretty expensive, and for no reason. Like, it just delayed it by another day. You know, there was like really no benefit to it. There was no like, oh, that's awesome. Well, that made sense for this. I mean, you know, I always say everything is happening for my greatest and highest good. So I always do think there is a benefit, a lesson, even if I can't figure out what it is. But at the end of the day, though, my point is that my logical mind kept telling me, well, you have plenty of time. What are you talking about? And actually what had happened was, like, the route I was using, I guess, I had gotten some advice from people about, oh, it takes this long to get to the airport. And then I had like calculated it on my phone as well. And both were wrong. And that's not how long it took. It took way, 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 way longer. And then there was like confusion, and it was just a Mercury retrograde kind of vibe, you know what I mean? But I kept telling myself, like, of course you're gonna have time. You're leaving plenty of time. What are you talking about? Why are you feeling so nervous? Why do you feel like you need to throw up? This is crazy. You're being so dramatic. And meanwhile, it was completely right. So a lot of times, like I said, our body knows more than we do. Our intuition knows more than we do. Our logical mind might tell us something, but always, always, always trust that intuition. So even if you're feeling in the opposite direction, you feel really good about something and it doesn't make sense to anyone else, that's what you should listen to and go to and step towards. So again, I feel like for you guys, you're going to know this answer in moments of peace and silence. You're going to know this answer when you're dreaming, when you're sleeping, when you're energetically open. It could be doing anything. When you're in the shower, anytime you're in a quiet space, that's when spirit can talk to us. When you're meditating, when you're just laying on your bed right after you woke up and you're kind of in a dreamlike place, that's perfect. So be very open at these times to help you make up your decision. And then let's get one more. Oh, the World. Wow. So the World is a really positive card. In the tarot, it symbolizes completion of a goal and ending a cycle. And again, there is this heavy ending energy around with you with the Death card. But the World is a very positive card of that energy. It's a completion that we wanted, that is just feels like a manifestation coming through or a goal being reached. It's the ending of a cycle that just feels like we're so happy to end it. And so I feel like for you guys, yeah, this ending, don't think of it as a negative thing, think of it as a good thing. And I feel like you're kind of ready for a new challenge after this month. So I'm not sure whether it would come in like July, August, September, but sometime soon, I feel like you guys are going to be entering into a major new cycle. And right now, you're kind of in the preparation planning stage. You know what I mean? Let me get some of these cards. Oh, okay, we'll use that one. Connect with nature. That makes perfect sense. And yeah, I actually was going to say this earlier in the reading. That's why I'm like clicking my tongue, because I think I said something like hobbies that are of that nature. And then I was like, should I correct that? Because it sounds like I said that are in nature. But then I was like, I think that's a message from Spirit, but I lost my train of thought. But my point is, I do think there is a connection to nature for you guys, and that you guys should be doing things. I'm seeing someone ride their bike through a beautiful trail. Of course, in the Northern Hemisphere, at least, it is spring, summer. It's such a beautiful time of year. So definitely go out and enjoy it. If you're in a beautiful place with a lovely June energy, definitely use it. And maybe go out into the forest if you live near a forest. Or I feel like just hiking, meditation in nature is going to be so great for you guys. And it's kind of like you need a break because you have been like overcharged or just doing a lot lately. So it's like, it's kind of nice to bring in this quieter nature energy where you're not rushing around as much, or you're not focused on other people as much, and you're focused more on yourself. You're focused more on your goals and your dreams, because again, I feel like that's when spirit can come in, is when we're kind of in a quieter, calmer energy. And I feel like that's also your energy. A lot of you guys have a very quiet, soft, lovely energy about you. You're highly creative, and I feel like in nature you might, maybe it's taking a walk. We get a lot of like writers or creative types, musicians and stuff. They say they get their best ideas on a walk. And I know there's a phrase like nothing can't be fixed with a short walk or something, and I think that's really true. So maybe something like that. Let's see what else is going to come through. What's going to be happening for pile 2 in the month of June, spirit? What's going to be happening for pile 2? Perfect moments. Okay. Tell it like it is. Well, that came out reversed. And let's get one more. Jar of dreams. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think you guys are kind of putting together a jar of dreams for yourself right now, deciding what you want in it. This is, like I said, kind of like a planning stage. And this card, I was just shuffling one more and it came out healthy boundaries. So yeah, maybe sometimes I feel like you guys in this pile might be a little bit of people pleasers, and this is why it's good for you to spend a little time alone in your own energy, dreaming and thinking, and really able to pay attention to spirit. I feel like, yeah, this soft, gentle energy you give off, sometimes, toxic people can try to trample over it or try to take advantage of it. So I like the idea of you guys putting up some boundaries, spending some time alone, and just really prioritizing yourself in this. Let's get some astrology dice for pile number 2. So we got the moon, 4th house, and wow, Virgo. That's crazy because it's just so like double Cancer energy. And then this one says, oh, wow. So we got the North Node. So there's a destiny moment happening for you guys in this energy. And that makes sense with the Death card, the World card coming through. It's a very powerful ending and change. And sometimes these powerful endings, they just really drain our energy. So you guys might just be needing more rest in the month of June. You might be needing to spend more time sleeping and kind of in the house with that Cancer energy, cooking and looking after yourself, because you just might be feeling a little bit more energetically drained as you prepare for this major step forward in your life, this major change of entering into a new threshold, entering into a new start. It might be something where you just need a little bit of more energy given into your body, into your physical body. And with the 4th house, that's Cancer. Cancer's highly, highly creative. There's so many Cancer musicians and songwriters and writers. So it's a very emotional sign. It's a very psychic sign. It rules over the High Priestess in tarot, so that should tell you how psychic Cancers are. And again, I feel like your intuition is just so on point. And also Cancers are definitely homebodies. They're all about kind of the soft life, being at home, looking after themselves, sleeping, napping, cooking, and just kind of puttering around the kitchen and like taking care of themselves and taking care of others. And yeah, it's a very soft, very feminine energy. And we also have Virgo, and Virgo, like I was saying, Virgo is kind of like, Virgo is on the same axis as Pisces, and it's all about kind of physical purity. So they can kind of get their ideas as well from cleaning, from organizing. And Virgo's also great at communication. So Mercury is exalted there. Virgo loves to speak and to they're really amazing at speaking. They're really amazing at channeling their ideas into like a physical reality and actually writing out something that's very coherent and makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I feel like for you guys, again, writing things down, journaling, I feel like is going to be really amazing for you. Journaling about your thoughts or your dreams or writing down your manifestations is going to be really fantastic. And Virgo is also really good at kind of thinking about a little bit of boundaries or what needs to be fixed or changed. Yeah, fixed as in, changed and mutated to be better. So I feel like you guys are going to be doing a lot of that this month. And yeah, spending a little bit more time looking after yourself. Let's get some cards, message cards to end off the reading. What messages do you have for pile number 2 in the month of June? To receive, you must release. What can you let go of? What do you want to receive? Okay. So, wow, I love that because we were talking about all these endings, all these releases, and oh my God, this one's also about releasing. It says, you heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions do you need to feel? So again, with the death card being reversed, you guys might be really hesitant or resistant to this ending. You might be like, I don't want to go through this ending, or I don't want to deal with this, or I just like how it is. But just know that this is happening for a positive purpose. This is happening to benefit you, to bring you into something new and something better. And if you're ending one era of your life and beginning another, and you don't really know how this new era is going to look, that's the best energy you could be in. And that means that things are going to really change and start growing something new and fresh and beautiful. And it's going to be that release of stagnant old energy. So don't be afraid to let go of the things that seem to be falling out of your life right now. Just welcome in this new era for you. And again, know that it's happening for your blessing. Let's get one more card. What message do you want to have for pile number 2, Spirit? And this one says, you cannot make a mistake. There are infinite possibilities available to you. Where is your heart guiding you? Oh, I love that one for you guys. Exactly. You cannot make a mistake. Like I always say, everything is happening for your greatest and highest good. So even that being late to the airport thing, I truly believe it wasn't a mistake, that everything happens for a reason. So I don't know what that reason is. Oh, actually, I kind of do know, I think. Yeah, but anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but I think that everything that happens, even if it doesn't seem to make a mistake, it's like God plays chess, not checkers. God can see the whole plan. God knows what purpose it's going to serve in our life. And so just know that you can't do anything wrong. So you might as well do what your heart is calling you to, what your soul, your intuition is calling you to. And I feel like you're going to be really called and really asked to do that and to trust this process in the month of June. So anyways, that is the message I have for you guys. Pile number 2, I really hope it resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you, love hearing your thoughts and your stories and all of it. So definitely let me know what you think. Also, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, give this reading a like if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on, hit the bell so you can find out as soon as I post. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, then head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about a day in your life in the future, an important day in your life. So we're going to time travel to the future, see what you have going on, take a look around, see what guidance we can get from that, and see what's happening in your life, get all the details. Also, you will get access to about 50 additional readings as soon as you sign up. So there is so much to choose from: love readings, career readings, spirituality readings, relocation readings, future readings, past life readings, friend, family readings, money readings, so many topics. So I hope you'll check it out. The link is underneath the timestamps in the comments, in the description. You guys also suggest new readings and we vote on new readings. So there's a lot to do, very interactive. So I would love to have you guys join us over there. Anyways, as well, I have my private readings available at briarrosetarot.com, and you can get a half hour or a full hour long session with me. You can have me pull your tarot, read astrology for you, you can have me channel for you, or you can have me do a year ahead reading, love reading, career reading, just an energy check-in, which I highly recommend, just kind of like spiritual hygiene, getting it done every few months. Anyways, if you would like to get a reading with me, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link is in my description for that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon in another reading. Take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile three. So if you guys picked the intention card, this is going to be your reading. So for your tarot, you guys got the Three of Swords reversed, the High Priestess reversed, the Devil card, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Temperance card. So for some of you guys, as you enter into the month of June, you're going to be in a kind of heartbroken energy, or maybe that's where you've been lately, is just feeling down, depressed, upset about something, maybe feeling a little defeated, or just kind of heartbroken in whatever way. And with it coming out next to the High Priestess card, there can be a message that some of you guys, this situation might have arisen in your life because you weren't listening to your intuition. Maybe if you go back and really like parse over whatever happened, or however this person or situation entered your life, maybe you had an inkling or a feeling of, I don't know about this, or I should do something different. And so with the High Priestess coming out reversed, there can be an emphasis on listening into your intuition a lot in the month of June. So really paying attention to what your inner guidance, your inner compass is going to say, and really paying attention to the energy in a situation from when it starts. So I always feel like the energy kind of in a relationship stays the same. It's just maybe sometimes you run out of tolerance for it, or it starts reaching a boiling point, but it's almost like that energy was there the whole time. And this goes for all things, whether it's a job, a relationship, any kind of situation. A lot of times, even though it might get extra negative at the end, there was always a tendency, there was always a vibe about that situation before. So there is maybe an energy on you guys just setting the intention of trusting yourself, listening to your intuition the first time, paying attention to that message as soon as you get it. And you might be working on your intuition a lot in the month of June. So some of you guys might be like buying a tarot deck, or pulling your tarot a lot for yourself, making that a daily practice that you're going to pull a tarot card in the morning to see how your day goes every day, or you're going to start meditating or channeling or using a pendulum or something. But you might be really tapping into your intuition, and you know, at the end of the day, you don't even need tarot cards or anything like that, pendulum, anything. Those are just like added extras. But at the end of the day, I always think our intuition knows when we meet someone. We can feel that vibe around them, whether we feel safe in their presence, whether we feel good around them or not. We can feel the vibe around a work situation, if this feels good, if it feels positive or not. So really using our intuition as our major guide is the best way, in my opinion. I know I'm biased, but to go through our life. And so that might be something you're learning as you step into June. And with the Devil card, it could, that's why I guess I'm talking about relationships, is this could be a past relationship with someone who's kind of toxic, and they might be someone who had negative intentions for you, or was kind of jealous, competitive with you, or never fully supported you. Also, the Devil card can be bad habits we have on our own. So it can be bad coping mechanisms. It can be like we have a tendency to be overindulgent with ourselves, or too harsh with ourselves. So maybe overeating when we're upset, or not eating at all, or shopping when we get upset, or hitting the gym too much when we're upset. But it's kind of about any coping mechanism, any kind of addiction or dependency you might have on something that isn't actually serving you, even something like procrastination. So you might be doing a real inventory about this in the month of June, and really starting to unpack some of the negative things and starting to think through the kind of life you want to bring in. So you might be doing a lot of work with kind of like looking over your life and seeing the things that need to shift and change, and the things that you're doing that aren't actually serving your manifestations and your end goal. And then luckily, I'm seeing a shift from that top line down to this really positive bottom line of the Knight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Temperance. So maybe in the earlier half of June, or whenever you're watching this, you're working through some of these heavier energies, dealing with unpacking some of these negative tendencies or mistakes you made in the past. And of course, we all make mistakes. There's no point in beating yourself up, but it's always good to process it, right? And just be like, I kind of messed up there. Okay, so in the future, I won't do that. And so maybe you're doing that at the beginning part of the month. And then in the second half of the month, you're in a much more positive energy, and you're able to focus more on your goals. And if that's the case, this is definitely a kind of goal setting month for you. I mean, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. So you guys might really be making some big plans. and kind of setting your eyes on the prize for whatever it is that you're working towards in your life. You might be thinking of making a move or making a big decision between two different options that could have to do with like very concrete decisions like where you live or where you work or what kind of business you're in or industry you're in. And I almost feel like what I'm getting is for some of you guys in the past, you've had people in your life that you might have used as a bit of a crutch to make those decisions. Like maybe you had a friend who was kind of shady with you, but you were always really close to them and you would always talk with them about your day and ask them for their advice. And even though they kind of sometimes just didn't give you the best vibe, you still trusted them, you still wanted them in your life. And now you're stepping into the energy of really listening to yourself and believing yourself. And you're not going to care so much what someone else says to you or what they feel about it. You're going to really pay attention to how it feels to you in your inner soul and in your heart. And anyone else's opinion, you're going to kind of put to the side, because I do feel like in this month, you guys are going to be focusing on your career. You might be busy with work, or you might be starting a new business, starting something new. The Knight is generally a very energetic card, but it also carries with it a bit more knowledge and wisdom than the Page. So you're going to be a little bit energized by this, but not in like a reckless way. So you might be going into work, giving it your all, but you're also balanced here, and you might be making sure you take time to like go home, rest a little bit, and you're not putting in an imbalance of hours. Again, the Devil card is kind of about imbalance in our life, where we need to have more balance, where we need to chill a little bit more, where we need to not be like rushing in and being super chaotic, but where we can kind of take a step back and relax a little bit. And the Temperance card is definitely about that as well. So, and the Two of Pentacles to a certain extent, there's a lot of balancing going on in these cards. So yeah, I think you guys are learning about balance this month. And with the Intention card, it could show you that your intention is everything. Sometimes when we set a manifestation or a goal, we just want it to happen as quickly as possible. So we're willing to burn ourselves out, or we're willing to do things that are kind of out of whack with ourselves to get it done. And this could be an energy telling you that it's okay for you to take a step back in June and just to think through really strongly about what you want in your life. Because I'm getting a vibe with that Knight of Pentacles, you know, the Knight and the Pages, they can both be energies of rushing in without kind of thinking things through. I mean, the Page a little bit more so, but combined with these other cards like the Devil, it can show that you're rushing into situations and not fully processing everything, not fully taking it in and thinking about whether it really serves you in the long term. I'm thinking of situations where someone like really wants to get married just to get married, and they don't actually love their partner and they fight all the time, but they just want that ring on their finger and they want that big glamorous wedding day because that's something they thought they always should want and that it would make them happy. And after the wedding day, they're going to actually have to deal with that person and live with them day in, day out. And I'm not saying that's your situation, but sometimes in life we can feel really rushed to making decisions, or we can feel like we have to do something. So maybe this is a message for some of you guys to think really clearly about what you want and make sure that all the decisions you make in the month of June are supporting that end goal and are a step on the pathway to your end manifestation. Of course, sometimes in life we can never predict what plans God has for us and how a manifestation is going to appear. But if something feels out of alignment, if it feels bad, if we feel energetically drained after we're dealing with someone or after we do a certain activity, then that can be a really good indication that it's not for us. Of course, sometimes feeling tired isn't necessarily bad. Like I get tired when I finish my readings just because they can take a lot out of me, but I still feel good in my soul. And so that's really what we want to pay attention to, is how do I feel in my soul? Do I feel good? Do I feel happy? Do I feel high vibrational? And if you do, then that's a yes. And if we don't, then that's a no. It's really pretty simple, right? But we complicate it, we overthink. So this is just maybe a message for you guys to really pay attention to your intuition in these situations, how you feel in your body, and don't like distract yourself or try to pretend something is working when it's not, because that's that devil energy that kind of tricks us and isn't actually working for our greatest and highest good. So let's get into some of these cards. What's going to be happening for pile number 3 in the month of June? Wow. Okay. So we got walking away and then we got the sun card. So maybe this walking away card is talking about the energy I've been picking up on with that Three of Swords reverse of something ending or just something that has caused you hardship, something hardship or heartbreak is what I mean, that you guys have been upset about, something that feels like an ending maybe you weren't ready for. And again, with that High Priestess reverse, it can just be a message that like the writing was on the wall a long time ago, and not to make yourself beat yourself up for it, not to make you feel bad, or but I think it's actually empowering to realize, oh yeah, I kind of knew that all along. I kind of did know that from the beginning. Because then I think the worst feeling is feeling like we had no control and it just came out of nowhere. So I think it can be reassuring that a lot of times actually in relationships we can kind of see that someone seems a little toxic and then that friend ends up stabbing us in the back. Or we can kind of see that that job and workplace seems a little crazy and they're expecting a lot from us. And then the boss ends up being horribly demanding. So I feel like you're kind of unpacking something with that right now. And as you walk into June, you might not be feeling super jazzed about everything that's happening for you. But honestly, I feel like this is such an important part of your journey. And with the sun coming out, it is that confirmation that this is the right thing for your path and that you're heading in the right direction. And maybe if this person was holding you back from shining as brightly as you could, then this is a blessing to come in to allow you to step into your highest vibrational energy. Let's get some more cards for pile number 2. What's happening for them in the month of June? What's happening for pile 2 in the month of June? So we got the Magician and the Mirror. Okay, so again, with that heavy emphasis on self-growth and also to let you know how powerful you are. Maybe some of you guys have had people in your life that have tried to disempower you or tried to make you forget how powerful you really are. And it's so crazy that this came out right above the Temperance card. Wow, because they have that same imagery of balancing water in one hand and then fire in the other. And with water, water is kind of intuition. Water is the guidance we get from spirit, and that's heavily emphasized here with the High Priestess coming out. Lots of water in these cards, actually. So I feel like you're really supposed to be using your intuition. And then fire is kind of that primal activity. Fire is also highly intuitive as well. So yeah, fire uses their intuition, but they also kind of translate it into action. And they tend to act very quickly, very fast. They don't tend to overthink. But alchemy happens when we can combine both. We can combine action and that kind of heated passion and that desire and that going after something with all our will and just taking it on boldly, combined with the softness of water and the intuitive, psychic and thoughtful vibe that water gives off. So I feel like there is a message for you guys that maybe it's almost like in the past you've run to things that maybe you didn't think them through all the way and you just tried to make it work, tried to make it happen. And there's a message that the first step should be checking in with your intuition, checking in with that water energy, checking in a peaceful way with like, how does this feel for me? Sometimes I see a lot of women like trying to make relationships work with someone who is not actually, doesn't even seem like they like them that much, doesn't seem like a catch, doesn't seem like that great of a person. And yet they'll just be trying to make it work single-handedly. And so the best thing you can do is to combine the passion, the energy, the enthusiasm of fire with the chill, kind of not dissociated, but like calm, a little bit dissociated vibe of water, where it's just allowing things to flow in and flow out, and whatever happens, happens. So I just feel like there's a strong message for you guys in June of checking in with your intuition more, maybe developing intuitive practices. So maybe you will be, like I said, learning to pull tarot, learning to meditate, checking in with your astrology, but most importantly, just checking in with yourself, taking a moment to pause before you launch something new or before you start a new friendship or start a new business, just to see how it feels in your body, whether it feels good, whether it feels bad, and then using that as your compass and your arrow to make these manifestations happen. Let's get some more cards for pile number 3. So we got carrying connections. And we got Angel of Balance. And that's really what those cards are about, is creating balance. I think I mentioned that earlier. There's a lot of balance energy. And so with the Devil card, again, that's all about imbalance. It's all about things that are shifting too much to one side, or where there's not moderation, where there's just this like running into something kind of energy, or obsessively going after something type of energy. Like I said, it's someone that like way overeats or way undereats, or exercises too much, or uses some kind of illicit substance too much to kind of mute themselves and mute their intuition and mute their mind. So yeah, there isn't a needing some balance as we come into June. For some of you guys, there's an emphasis on really like looking after your physical body. So taking balance when it comes to like maybe what you eat, or how you exercise, making sure that you're looking after yourself on a physical dimension. So making sure you're feeding yourself healthy foods, making sure that you're taking the time out to exercise or go for a walk after work, and kind of like calming down, because I almost feel like some of you guys have tried to shift yourselves into a certain kind of goal that you've wanted for a really long time. Maybe you were like, I really want this to happen. Sorry guys, I had to pause the reading because I got a package delivery. But anyways, as I was saying to you guys, there is that energy of you kind of stepping away from just going after something for the sake of it, or really putting your sights on something and not thinking through whether it works for you, and really paying more attention to how something resonates from the beginning. With Caring Connections, you might be meeting someone new. You might be having new relationships come in, and this person also might really treat you amazingly well, put you up on a pedestal in a way that maybe in the past you haven't experienced, or you've wanted but you haven't fully had. So there is an energy of you guys finding more relationships and kind of coming out of that heartbreak energy, healing a little bit more. And also what I'm hearing is this could be someone who's close by to you, who has a big crush on you. So someone you might know, or who might already be existing in your friend group, but who just hasn't felt comfortable stepping forward all the way to fully let you know how much they do like you. And so that might be something that comes as a little bit of a surprise to you. Let's get into some of these cards to figure out what is happening for pile number 2 in the month of June. What's happening for pile 2 in the month of June, Spirit? Hope on the horizon. Okay. And this one says unconscious games. And, oh, sorry. This one says disconnect. And best case scenario, and endless serendipity. So yeah, there's a really strong message for you. Again, maybe there was a game player around you guys, and that's what you're kind of healing from. That's what this devil energy is. I don't know. But if you're really like upset about that, and you guys are feeling super negative about whatever ending in your life, it feels like you're leaving it behind for a reason. Like you needed to let go of some of the toxic people or situations you were in. And what's happening right now is working in your favor. It is the best case scenario. It's exactly what should be happening. And it's actually a serendipitous event in your life. It's a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's something that in the future you'll probably be like cheering on and just be so happy about. I do feel like as you come into June, you're going to start getting little signs and symbols of serendipity, of things working for you, of God and spirit putting things out there so that you will be like, wow, okay, maybe I am really lucky. Okay, maybe I do have good things coming in. So if this ending does happen to you in the month of June, make no mistake, it is for the best. If you are leaving something behind and you're kind of scared about this new beginning, this new start, or just this ending, then know that if it wasn't in alignment with you, then it needs to go. If it is in alignment with you, then it can't be taken away. That's just not how energy works. So anything that isn't in your life isn't supposed to be in your life. And I feel like you guys are realizing that more and more as you come into this summertime energy. And it's funny, by the end of the summer, it's probably going to be a very different reading with just so much positivity about the things you guys are bringing in, and almost a sense of relief about like, oh, okay, I'm so glad whatever that is out of my life. life. But yeah, there's a lot of changes happening in your life in June. And I feel like you guys are really looking over existing relationships, looking at how you've been treated in the past, and learning that you need to treat yourself with more respect and more dignity, and learning to start removing anyone who doesn't treat you with that respect, love, and dignity, and who doesn't treat you like a queen, to be honest, or a king. Let's get some of these astrology dice for pile number 3. So we got Mercury, we got the 9th house, and then we also got Aquarius. So Mercury is all about communication. It rules over Virgo and Gemini. It's also about mechanical things. So you guys might literally be having certain things fixed up. If anything mechanical might have issues, maybe you guys would be fixing it, like your car. And this is actually a perfect time because Mercury just will be, well, it's ending retrograde as I'm filming this. And so by the time of June, it's going to be totally out of retrograde and pretty much out of shadow. So you guys are going to be well in the clear to whatever, fix anything mechanical. If you guys have been wanting to fix your laptop or been wanting to get your car changed or whatever, everything, this is the perfect time for you guys to be doing that. And I also feel like with Mercury, you know, Mercury's amazing conversation. It's really good. It's meeting someone and just really getting along with them. And I almost feel like Spirit has a message for you guys of like making more time for little magical serendipitous experiences in this month of June. I feel like you're going to have a lot of these opportunities to like have a random conversation with a cashier, randomly get along with the waiter, and you're just hitting it off and you guys are laughing. But to take time out to really pause and really enjoy those moments in your life. With the 9th house, that might also involve travel. Some of you guys might be traveling this month, exploring new places, or exploring, even if you're just going to like the town nearby, you might be really getting out there and exploring and doing totally brand new things. Aquarius is also large groups of people. It's the 11th house. So you might be meeting brand new friends. I do feel like there is this opportunity for you guys to really meet new people, to treat you, who will treat you how you want to be treated and how you deserve to be treated. So if in the past you felt like you didn't get the respect you deserved and you felt like people would disrespect you or treat you badly, maybe Spirit is going to pop out just to have little random interactions with people you might not ever even see again, just to let you know that it is possible for you guys to have these beautiful, wonderful friendships and relationships, and how magical and special life can be. So if you get the opportunity to take a road trip in the month of June, or you guys get the opportunity to, you know, have a random afternoon with your girlfriend, going to the movies and then going out for dinner and those kinds of fun days, definitely take those opportunities, because I do feel like that's going to really bring in a very positive energy for you guys. Let's get some message cards for pile number 3 for the month of June. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile 3 for the month of June? So this one says, you create your own reality. What you want wants you to. And I love that energy for you guys, because I almost feel like some of you guys in this pile, you might have had experiences with people that you felt like you were trying single-handedly to make the relationship or friendship work. And whenever we feel that, you know, it can almost make us want to make things work even more. It becomes a challenge. It becomes a goal of like, well, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this person see my value. I'm going to make them like me. And I feel like you're learning to let go and discard of anything that makes you feel in that lack energy, anything that makes you feel like you're not good enough, anything that doesn't really see your value, anyone, any person, any place, anything. Let go, because with the right people, they are going to want you back so much. They are going to have been looking for someone like you. They are going to have set their sights on someone like you. They're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so excited I'm at pile 3. I feel so blessed that I can't believe I get to be around someone like this. And yeah, I feel like you shouldn't settle for anything other than that. And you're going to realize this June. Then we got deep inward journey. You'll be rewarded for the work. So you guys are doing a lot of inner work this month. I can feel that, because this is kind of a heavier month ahead message. And then this one says, things are not what they seem. You are only trapped by your illusion. What freedom do you seek? So sometimes, you know, with all these cards combined, again, I think it's about really checking in, make sure we're using our intuition, make sure that we're not being hemmed in by illusions. We're not looking at situations and kind of misreading them because we want a certain scenario, but instead we're really being truthful with ourselves about whatever is going on. We're giving ourselves the full, honest truth. And that's when we can have the genuine growth we want, is when we take an honest look at whatever it is. I feel like you guys are doing that as we come into June. You're doing so much inner work. You're doing a lot of shadow work. And it is maybe a heavier energy, but honestly, I feel like as you learn to trust your intuition more and more, as you learn how psychically powerful and gifted you are this month, you're going to have an easier time of it. And you're going to be so glad later on that you guys did do this inner work as you're coming into June. And then I feel like you're going to meet a lot more people that align you with this path and with your goals. So anyways, I think that's the message I have for you, pile 3. This one was really deep, to be honest with you. But I hope it resonated. I would love to hear from you guys about what you're going through. If this did resonate, if you have been going through a hard time, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this reading. Also, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, give this reading a like if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on, hit the bell so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, then head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about an exciting day in your future. So we find out what's happening in your life at an exciting day in your future, what's going on in your love life, in your financial situation, your career, all the details. So if you want to check that out, head to my Patreon, and the link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and I would love to see you there. Also, if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me. You can have me pull tarot, channel for you, read your astrology. You can do a year ahead reading, a love reading, career reading, just an energy check-in, which I think is a really good idea for everyone to get, just for kind of spiritual hygiene purposes. So if you want to get one of those, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link is in my description for that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.